Hey guys, thank you for coming to my impromptu book talk. Today I want to talk to you about a brand new series that I found called The Kane Chronicles. Now this specific series deals with Egyptian mythology, but the author, whose name is Rick Riordan, has done all of the Percy Jackson. So if you've ever heard of the Percy Jackson series or The Lightning Thief or the movies that went along with it and enjoyed those, this is the type of book that you are also going to enjoy if you like that type of genre. Now, for this book specifically, as I said, it deals with all of the Egyptian gods. And as weird as it sounds to say out loud, the premise is that you have two kids that are middle school age that get possessed by Egyptian gods and pretty much have to save the world. But there's a lot more that goes into it. For instance, what people don't realize is that the way that the gods ended up being released into our current world is because of the fact that the kid's father blew up a giant monument for the Egyptian gods, and it basically just spiraled down from there. Really, really cool premise, I personally think, and the very first part of the Kane Chronicles series is actually called The Red Pyramid. Now, I would love to have my actual copy of this book, but my wonderful mother was so excited to read it when I impromptu gave her a book talk about it that she stole all of my copies. So I actually don't have my book with me or the other two that go along with it, but if you are interested, this is what it looks like. It is a beautiful book. It pretty much starts out with the two main characters, which are Carter and Sadie Kane. They end up hanging out with their dad. They have no idea that they're magicians. They have no idea about any of this world beyond basically middle school and elementary school, and that there are all of these wonderful beings and gods that are walking among them. Until their dad blows up the monument and releases them and they get possessed. Once that happens, they have to figure out how to stop and save the world along with their dad, who has completely disappeared after the explosion. And from there, with their help from their uncle, they end up learning all of this new stuff that they have never known about all of these powers that they've had since they were children, because the big kicker with this book is that the two main characters actually are related and are from the bloodline of the Egyptian gods, which is why they have the power and the ability to house, that's their version of possession, to house the gods in their bodies, to defeat the evil character in this first book named Set. The great thing about this book that I really like is, even though it's very kid-friendly and it's a very easy read and it's a very fast read, it is one of those reads to where it does still give you enough background information about the mythology that you're not trying to figure out what's going on the Egyptian aspect of it. They have a very neat way of adding it all together to where you know about the history of the Egyptians and their gods without taking away from the really fun, fast-paced, action-packed part of the book. Not to mention there's a whole bunch of really fantastic characters, like an albino alligator that can shrink down to the size of a toy for a personalized weapon, and a monkey that's very fantastic at basketball that somehow pops up in the right place at every time to help somebody out. So pretty much this is one of those very wonderful reads. It's a very quick read. It's one of those books you have a hard time putting down because the author has an amazing ability to leave basically every chapter ending with some type of a cliffhanger, which, as I said, makes you not want to be able to put it down. And although I had many other books on my reading list to read after this one, I put them aside and ordered the other two so that I could finish the trilogy before moving on, because it really is that good. So if you are looking for a very simple, easy read that has a lot of action, a lot of comedy, a good bit of sibling rivalry, this really is the book for you, because it kind of gives you a sense of excitement and adventure with a little bit of the history and myth side of the world that we no longer get to be a part of. So I hope you guys are interested in reading this amazing book, and I would love to let you borrow it if I could ever get it back from my mom. So thank you, and thank you, cameraman husband, for recording everything, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. Thanks.